Shabbat Perek Chet Mishnah Aleph, first Mishnah in the 8th chapter of Shabbat. We're going to continue talking about the minimum measurements required for a person to be chayav in hotza'ah. So now we're going to talk about liquids. If I take wine from reshut to reshut, from reshut hayachid to reshut harabim, kidei mezigat hakos, enough to be mozeg, i.e. to pour a kos. So the minimum of a kos is a revi'it. But in this case, Chazal had very, very strong wine. So if you wanted to have a kos of shel bracha, you add one part wine to 3 parts water. It was 1/4. So kedei mizigat hakos, the Bartunah said, is rova revi'it yain chai. It's 1/4 of a revi'it of raw wine. So that they'll get to the amount of wine, tlata bimayim, 3 parts water, v'amor revi'it halog, and then you'll have revi'it halog, shiur kos shel bracha. And that's what we do today. We have a revi'it. I'm not going to try to translate this into today's quantities. Chalav, milk. How much do I have to take out of milk? Kedei gmiya, a mouthful. Okay, enough to swallow. Dvash. How much is kedei gmiya? Pachot revi'it. But the Kahati says it's less than a revi'it. Okay. Dvash, honey. It's also a food, but the Mishnah says kedei liten ala katit. Katit is a wound, a blemish, a wound on the back of an animal. And they would treat it with honey. So however much you needed to treat a katit, this wound, this blemish on the back of an animal, the sore on an animal, that was the minimum amount that if a person took out in order to be chayav on hotza'ah. Shemen, oil, k'tei lasuch ever katan. Lasuch means to anoint, or to smear in on ever katan, the smallest hand. The Bartunah says, based on the Gemara, the Kahati says, the smallest toe of a day-old baby. How much oil do you need to anoint the little toe of a baby? Teeny amount. Mayim, how much water? It's not, even though you could drink it, you could still need less. Kilor, the Bartunah says, was something that was an anointment, an eye balm, a salve that they poured in to make medicine if a person he had a sickness or some kind of illness of the eye. Okay, so that's a tiny amount of water. I assume, I always wondered, because you have to be taking these in something. So I assume that the kli, I think I saw this somewhere, I couldn't find it. The kli, the vessel that you're holding the liquid in, is batel to the liquid itself. If the liquid itself was not enough, and I had like a tiny pipette of honey, and it wasn't enough to be put on the katit, on the sore of the animal, then there would be no iser hotza'ah on the little pipette, because the pipette is only there for the liquid. I'm guessing. I think I'm right. I'm not 100% sure. Okay. Usha'ar kol mashkim, any other liquid, I don't know, apple juice, revi'it. Revi'it is the minimum amount that a person is a drinkable amount. V'chol hashofchin, shofchin are pourable liquids that are not drunk. Usually it refers to, shofchin refers to sewage water you can't drink. Okay, you're going to use it for whatever. You're going to use it to make your cement. Again, that's also revi'it. Rabbi Shimon comes and argues on this whole principle. Kulam revi'it. All these measurements are revi'it. V'lo amru kol ha'shirin halalu ela lematzni'ehem. All these measurements are only for people who are matzniya. Matzniya means, for whatever reason, they want to save milk kedei gemiyah. They don't care about a revi'it. Or honey, liten ala katit. Most people, Rabbi Shimon says, is revi'it. But for a matzniya, for someone who's going to save it, then the minimum amount is liten ala katit. This is a machloket on the Tanakama that we learned at the end of the last Mishnah, who said that chol she'eno kasher la'atzniya ve'ein matzniyin kamahu v'otzio b'Shabbat eno chayav ela hamatzniyo. In this Mishnah we said that there was no minimum amount for someone who's matzniya. A drop of honey. If I keep the drop of honey, then I'm chayav and hotza'ah. Comes Rabbi Shimon and he argues on that opinion. He says no. All these measurements are only for matzniya. The minimum amount of honey is not a tiny drop. Even if you want to save it, it's liten ala katit. That's matzniya. But a normal person is a revi'it. So Rabbi Shimon is cholik on the Tanakama that appeared in the last paragraph, in the last chapter. We'll stop here. We'll dedicate our learning to the memory of my father, Rav Simcha ben Yitzchak Kalman, and you can email me here. Hope all is well. Have a good day.